Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 Project Phoenix at 2022 Career Mode. Today we're here in the United States for this second round of this 14 race calendar. If you missed the opening round at Bahrain uploaded last week and the pre-season video, then I recommend go and check that out. And of course subscribe to the channel if you see plenty more of this series and related F1 2021 gameplay. But coming into this one then, McLaren and Red Bull both looking to improve. McLaren especially after a double DNF in the opening round, spoiler alert, at Bahrain, where of course Norris had an engine failure and Ricciardo crashed out with, of course, Sergio Perez. Perez said had a quieter opener anyway, and he's looking to up his game for the United States Grand Prix. Of course, Perez is experienced and should be able to use that experience to move up. Verstappen thinks though that they have the car to be able to challenge for race victory, especially here where the circuit should suit the Red Bull a little bit more than Mercedes despite the long straight. There's also a driver change for this episode because down at Maserati Andretti, they've chosen the United States Grand Prix to put an American driver in. Valtteri Bottas steps away and in comes Colton Herta, if I'm pronouncing that right, IndyCar driver. I don't follow IndyCar, but I think he won a few years ago, so he was linked, of course, in real life with Andretti, so he's making an appearance in the game. And Lando Norris is on pole position. So the first time McLaren have been on pole, not first time it's not been a Mercedes or Red Bull. George Russell on the softs is alongside. Perez is ahead of Verstappen, both on mediums, both on the second row for the first time. So we'll see what Perez and Verstappen can do. Danny Ricciardo down in P5, unfortunate not to be close to his teammate. Carlos Sainz, Ferrari once again choosing the soft tyres to start the race on. Interestingly there. As do for Leclerc is back into the top 10. I start down in P8 again on medium tyre, still adjusting the AI difficulty, by the way. Lewis Hamilton, I don't know what happened there. I think he caught up with Alonso, also had a slow lap. So they start on the 5th row, both of them very slow. Giovinazzi, great job by our teammate. He starts 11th, so Giovinazzi is starting very well. Pierre Gasly starts down in 12th. Sebastian Vettel starts in 13th ahead of his teammate Lance Stroll, better from the Canadian, but still not great for Aston Martin, not really where they want to be. Esteban Ocon, difficult to score points as he did last time at Bahrain. He starts 15th ahead of Alex Albon, still yet to get out of Q1 for Williams. Mick Schumacher qualifies 17th ahead of Yuki Tsunoda, had a terrible qualifying. Remember, Yuki's only on a 6-month contract as well, so he could be replaced if his performance doesn't improve. Piastri struggled as well, and Colton Herta, of course, in his debut race, starts last in the United States Grand Prix. So here we are then for COTA for the United States Grand Prix. It's a track that I've done okay on this year's game, although I have got a couple of podiums, so we'll be trying to get some good points here. I'm not terrible, but the Sector 1 is horrific for me, so it's all about trying to damage limitation through that, make sure that we're not overtaken by the AI, and of course get the advantage through Sector 2 and Sector 3. That's where I'm fastest at around this track, so interesting to see what we do. Obviously we've got George Russell starting on the soft tyres, so that's definitely interesting to see what strategy he's going to have along with the others, who of course are myself and the Ferraris. What strategy we're going to do. We're going to be doing a one stop from medium to hard. Will the AI do a one stop or will they do a two stop? Now I'm not going to lie, there's not a lot in it between the one stop and the two stop, but I'd rather have track position and know my pace. I'll probably fall behind anyway at some point, so we'll try the one stop, see if it works. So then anyway, 5 red lights then for the United States Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go, and it's an okay start, better than Leclerc, who's had another horrific start again. Trying to go down the inside of Carlos Sainz. He pitches it into the corner. Can we get ahead of Perez? No, excuse me, not Perez. Verstappen is actually... No, it is Perez, excuse me, as he got squeezed out at the turn 1, but we squeezed out Ricardo and then up to P6. It was actually Perez who we couldn't get in front. In actual fact, Verstappen had a great start and leads the Grand Prix ahead of Russell as well. Norris has had a poor one, and the McLaren driver's down to third as well. But already on lap 1, you can see that we are not very fast compared to the McLaren, and the Ricardo is all over the back of us, but he doesn't have enough to get in front of us, interestingly, despite the Mercedes power unit. However, jumping to lap 3, we're already weaving all over the place. Real life tactics going on, taking leaf out of Ricardo's book to try and down the inside once again and retain what is still P6 throughout this race. And that's going to be a story of this race, really. Trying to keep the top 5 have literally disappeared at this point. Ricardo comes again, this time with DRS. Leclerc is still there. We once again defend from Ricardo. I feel like that one of these is going to one-stop us. This time though, Ricardo is forced out a little bit wide by myself, and that allows Leclerc to get in. As we're watching George Russell, he's the first of the ones. He's actually two-stopping Russell from the softs, so it's another set of softs. He'll go to mediums at the end. So 2 sets of softs and then a set of medium tyres for the British driver. But speaking of that, we forced Ricardo out again. That's allowed Hamilton to get involved now. Leclerc has pit, by the way, after we overtook Ricardo. So the soft tyre run is already coming in as we're now looking at Ricardo. Can he get his payback on there? I'll do a defensive against Hamilton up to the hairpin. I always get a stronger line out than I do. And Ricardo is able to get up the inside, but doesn't happen for longer. The end of the DRS straight where Hamilton pounces again and he's back up the inside and he's back in front of Ricardo. This is a great little scrap between Ricardo and Hamilton, 2 of the elders of Formula 1, as Hamilton comes in and he's fitting the soft tyres. If they're going to mediums at the end, what was the point of fitting starting on the mediums? There was literally no point for them if they're going to all two stop from medium to soft to medium. I really don't get that. I mean, I get medium, soft maybe, as Ricardo goes past. If they're all two stopping, Ricardo has gone past, couldn't really try to come back at him, but at this point I'm half inclined to let him go anyway. Because if he's two stopping, then we're going to be fine. Front right is 55%, so the tyre wear is there. It's just that, compared to the hard tyres, we should be able to go. And that's why, look at that. Daniel Ricciardo has played the teammate game to an absolute perfection, as Lando Norris is allowed to jump George Russell, who's the Mercedes dot behind me. And Russell, of course, is going to fly past with DRS, no matching the Mercedes. It's far too fast for me. Russell, the championship leader, we don't put up too much of a fight. We are on different strategies, to be fair, and we're just going to let his soft tyres burn out. We're actually going to come in at the end of lap number 12, 1 lap later than the team originally thought. Again, I didn't propose this one-stop strategy from medium to hard. It was the game that gave it to me, but yet looks like all the AI, including Ricardo, who came in the same lap of me, is going medium, soft, medium. As well, we're going to go to the hard tyre and go to the end of the Grand Prix. We should be able to go to the end from here. 15 laps to go. We have 13 on the set, or almost 12, almost full laps on a set of medium tyres. But this is it then. Verstappen, Norris and Russell is your top 3. Perez in 4th place over Sainz, all of them on soft tyres. Sainz will have to come in earlier though, as the hard tyres, I'm not going to lie, aren't that great to begin with. They need to warm up a little bit. And well, we've got Pierre Gasly, who's going to try and have a go with DRS. We should be able to match Gasly. But the soft tyre compared to the hards is occur to me at this moment in time. And there it is. There is George Russell coming out of the pits ahead of Daniel Ricciardo as well. So that's going to annoy McLaren that Ricciardo hasn't been able to get in front of Russell on this thing, as Fernando Alonso has a puncture on his medium tyres. So I don't think it's been on those for long. That must have been the second stop. Just came up the pits as well. Oh, there was front ring there, as Stroll has decimated Alonso there, and then Oscar Piastri just goes into the back of him, unsighted, but Alonso stricken in the middle. So that's going to bring 3 cars are out. That's going to bring out the safety car. So it's going to bunch the pack up a bit. Interestingly, once again, like in Bahrain, there is a lap car. It's between Norris, who's in second, and the race leader, Max Verstappen. As on the radio under the safety car, Jeff has informed me that Sebastian Vettel has an issue, so he will be slow on the restart, and he's in P10. So yes, we've got 6 laps remaining. Tyres will be fine. Herta's going to get out the way, as he's going to be lapped now by everyone. So they're all saying that he's cut the corner, and I think Hamilton has. Something's happened to Hamilton. We're going to take a look now with a replay, because I think Hamilton is out of the Grand Prix. So he goes to try and take the outside line. I give Burton. Oh my goodness! The bollard has blown his tyre up. Wow, and the bollard blows Herta's tyres up as well. That's going to bring out another safety car. This time we're going to have a clearer run of Carlos Sainz. Can we get P5 as well? Tyres are okay. They should be able to go at the end of the Grand Prix. We're going to go have a look around the outside of Sainz. Return to the... No, he's going to squeeze us off and not going out to the traction out of turn 1. And really, as feared, Sebastian Vettel is slowing absolutely everybody up. As we look, as Gasly tries to go for the outside, but Vettel's forced him off, and Gasly's off circuit. And Gasly decides to give up at that point, and he's out the race. So down to 14 runners. Ricciardo is going to have a go at us on his fresh mediums, but we're going to defend this. There's contact with Ricciardo twice there, I think there was. First rear-ended me, and then collision there. We'll get a replay on a slow-mo here. I just want to see if this was where we didn't make contact there, and I think my tyre there, there was a flash, a little bit of carbon fibre came off. So Ricciardo will pit with simulation damage, and Ocon has got past Sebastian Vettel. So Ocon will be up to P8 now. Hamilton and Ricciardo are out. Well, Hamilton retired and Ricciardo out the point, but it's not over yet. Leclerc on his 2-stop strategy is going to have a go at us down the outside. We're going to, on the last lap, we give him space, to be fair. A little bit more space, to be honest, than Ricciardo, but Ricciardo was a lot faster than Leclerc. Remember, we've got the same engine, the same Ferrari engine. Ferrari not as fast as ourselves, well, not as fast as the McLaren, excuse me, in a straight line. But that is it. Can Leclerc get past us to take P6 away? As well, Max Verstappen has won the Grand Prix. Can Leclerc, he closes in on the final corner, but it's a straight line up to the corner, and we have got more points, as have Giovinazzi, because Ocon retired at the final corner with an engine failure. So Ocon failed to finish as well. So we ended up with 13 finishes. Verstappen ahead of Norris. Norris disappointed in the end, but Verstappen had a brilliant start. Perez better than him, although he'd like to be in front of Russell. I think he got compromised with his strategy, Russell. Starting on the softs really affected him. And 7 DNFs there. Ocon, Gasly, Hamilton, Herta, Piastri, Stroll and Alonso. Unlucky for Herta, although to be fair, he was driving all over the place. As he tried to take out Hamilton with our bollard, forcing Hamilton wide with our bollard into Hamilton's part, and then he took it in, and the other bollard got him in the end. I don't know what happened with those bollards, if they were made of concrete or something in there. They shouldn't really be shearing a tyre off, but there we go. So in the end, Max Verstappen now leads the championship, but George Russell by 4 points. Carlos Sainz is 8 points further back. Obviously no sign of Lewis Hamilton, 2 DNFs in a row. Is this going to be his mighty luck spreading to this series as well? We'll have to wait and see. We're sure he'll come back, although this is, bear in mind, we've had a 7th of this calendar now, so it is a long way to come back. I'm sure we're not going to hold on for P5 for much longer, or P4 in the championship. McLaren are probably going to overtake us. Our battle is with Alpine. I feel like we can battle Alpine. Giovinazzi, as to be fair, isn't doing that. He's doing okay in the other car. I thought that, we of course we had a good first season, so there was higher expectations as opposed to Giovinazzi, who didn't race in season 1 in 2021 of this series. So he's actually doing an okay job. He's got 2 8th places. That's 2 points positions, which is probably more than I thought he would be getting. McLaren will see what they can do. Ricciardo is also yet to score points. So as soon as Mercedes and Ricciardo start scoring points, then we might see less points throughout this series. But yes, if you have enjoyed the series, episode, then you like, subscribe channel, and you see plenty more episodes. Until the next video, then I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.